As seniors finalize their college decisions, navigating the options can seem overwhelming. Here to guide us through the steps and key considerations for making this important decision is Alice Margraff, Director of College Counseling at McDonogh School. Alice, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So there is a lot to consider when starting this college application process. What is the first step, would you say?
I really think leading with a sound conversation regarding finances is a great first step for families. It might be the first time that parents have had a talk with their child about what is affordable, what is reasonable for a family, and that can really be a great first step to initiate a very realistic conversation, because some colleges are coming in at $90,000 a year without any financial aid yet.
Okay, so without any financial aid. So when looking at financial aid, does every school offer it?
Yes, all schools will have financial aid, but it will vary to the depth of how a college is able to meet financial need, how they are able to meet that need that a student has. And that need is determined by the college, not by the family, but it does vary how colleges are able to meet that.
Okay, so after we get the finances down, what is another really important consideration in the starting point of the college search?
Right. So once this family has figured out what's affordable, they've done some net price calculators, which all schools have on their websites. They need to students need to think, because they're the ones going to college, right, about what's important to them. Is there an area they're interested in studying, a part of the country they'd like to be in, a distance from home that's reasonable for the family? And then they can start doing some research. There are great tools out there to do research. Big Future, a lot of schools have programs that allow them just students to do searches. They can talk to people, but again, really make their own informed decisions and then engage virtually. You don't have to spend the money to get out and go visit a campus. There's so many great virtual tools that students can use to learn more about a school, the majors, the fit that they can see for themselves.
And now in research, you mentioned Big Future. Is that a search engine or?
That's a search engine that's on the College Board's website. There are other ones out there as well that students can use. And but just looking for these search engines that you can put information in about distance from home, location, majors, other things. If it's athletics or organizations that students are looking for, they can put those in those big searches as well.
Oh, that is wonderful. And now, visiting college campuses has always been, it's a very exciting thing to do. Is that necessary?
I mean, it is a good way to see what a student likes. You don't have to travel across the country, though, to visit a college. If a student can get on a local campus or two, plays a big school and a small school, maybe visit a school you've never heard of just to learn more. There's no such thing as a bad college, and there's no such thing as a perfect college for a student either, right? So students can find lots of places that are a good fit, and you can do it. It's great to get on a couple campuses, but again, it can be expensive. So using the resources that are close to you and the resources online to find places that you like, and then maybe visiting a couple, that's great. And it can be a great rite of passage, right?
Absolutely.
To get on.
Yeah, and so once we kind of narrowed down, okay, I think I want to apply to this school, has there been any changes to the college application landscape?
One of the biggest changes over the past few years has been test optional. A lot of schools have stopped requiring the SAT or the ACT or standardized testing. Now, there are some schools that are slowly bringing that back in as the availability of testing, has gone back to what it was pre-pandemic. But there were schools that didn't require testing before that as well. So the SAT made some monumental changes this year. Starting in March, they launched a virtual test. That's all it is. It's a virtual SAT. It's shorter. It's dynamic. But that has been a big change. The 1600 scale has stayed the same. And then the ACT is another option for students. And that is right now still a paper and pencil test for students to take.
Okay. And how would you, recommendations for a student who wants to stand out in the admission process?
I mean, I really think students who stand out because they're authentic to themselves. Students know what they like, they engage in it, and they do it at a level where that can help them to stand out. For students who say, but I have no idea, I'm still trying to figure that out. I mean, getting a job, having work experience, being involved in school clubs, becoming a leader in an organization, but trying different things, finding out what you enjoy, and then investing with some depth. I mean, there is a saying that colleges are not necessarily looking for a class of well-rounded individuals, but they're looking for a well-rounded class. So they want to find students who have done different things and done them with some depth and purpose.
Yeah. And college really is an amazing time to explore those interests. Alice, I want to thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
We're back
Have
in
a great
2 minutes. You too.